Thank you for listening to the Dog Trainers Podcast, a podcast created by dog trainers for dog trainers, or anyone who's ever fallen in love with man's best friend.
Aside from being who you are in the dog training world, be authentic, be passionate, who gives a shit if you have like that edge, it's who you are, whatever. Talk to us a little bit about, because this podcast is geared primarily toward newer dog trainers. Talk to us a little bit about the importance of making content, period.
Oh, it's in this day and age, any reputable dog trainer who's going to be known and recognized needs to have before and afters, right?
Right.
And the easiest way to show off your portfolio and your resume is going to be through your social media.
Right.
That doesn't mean you have to make content like I do, where I'm shirtless, showing my tattoos and my abs, like acting like a punk ass.
I have a challenge for you too. Sorry, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I got something for you.
Like, I can't wait. I will exceed the bar. I promise you. You want to make content to prove to potential clients, not to the industry, that you can get results. Because the number one question that I get asked is, how do I find a trainer like you? Right. And I always answer it with this. It's very simple. Make sure they have before and afters regarding the specific behavior that you're dealing with. Because God damn it, guys, we don't get called to be like, my dog is a good boy. How do I keep doing this? Right. Most of the time we have behavioral issues. And if I do get a client once in a blue moon that's like, hey, we want to work on some really cool, like other training. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like, let's get the clicker out. Let's charge the marker. Let's go, you know? But
the elective, these like the elective stuff.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Sunday stuff.
So most of the time, like, what are we getting? Let's say a doodle, right? We do a lot of fucking doodles. We all do doodles.
Mm-hmm. You fucking love everything too much. That's their problem.
Yeah, and it's this dog pulls on a leash, jumps a lot, and mouths me like crazy. That's every doodle for the most part that we get. Like, so we're talking about getting that dog from an anxious, nervous state that has no predictability in the environment whatsoever into a calm, composed being that's balanced, right? That has a good energy and that people are drawn to. Yeah. So guys, make your content geared towards your clients, not towards the industry, geared towards what the average person will like to see. And it's so important, because if you don't have a before and after, I will never fuck with you. Thank you, Danny Wells, for I won't fuck with you. I won't recommend you, because I need to see that you know what the hell you're doing. You know, and people need to see that too, which is a very passive and indirect way of actually attacking the pure positive side. Because I have very rarely seen a dog, a proper dominant, fucking high-driven KNPV bred Belgian Malinois, be able to who went off the fucking chain, like we just had with the dog named Eddie, just redirecting, going up the leash, trying to rip my trainers' throats out. You will never counter condition that dog. No. And that's,
you have to control him.
Yes, you have to control him with force. And here's the deal. When we show that dog being able to be put into a better state of mind, and the other trainers are only able to do minor counter conditioning, that type of stuff. I can get a dog to get its nails trimmed. Cool. Right. But leave the real behavior up to us and show that you can handle it. Right. I speak from a behavior guy's perspective. Like, I'm not a sport guy. I don't claim to be the best dog trainer in the world. I don't. There are plenty of dog trainers who are better than me, but I definitely know how to motivate a dog, and I definitely utilize a lot of biting, and I definitely utilize a lot of tug and play and all those things. But I'm a behavior guy. I'm a pet behavior guy. I'm a humble pet behavior guy.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Number one, have you you should reach out to Tommy Davis. I think you'd like him a lot. Number two, I agree with you. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of trainers out there, and I just want to hear your take on this. Yeah. You know, or kick them in the ass if that's what you have to do. You know, because I don't have the words. You know what I mean? There are a lot of newer trainers out there who they're like, yeah, I hear you, Jonas. I get it. I know content. It's really not even like negotiable at this point. This is 2021. Make your content, and it's free. Yeah. But they're too stuck in like, it's not going to look good enough, or it's not polished enough. I don't know what to say. I don't know what do you got?
Let me, can I get in on that? Because for example, dog trainer, been doing this 13 years. Back when it was just me by myself, like who's going to record me? Like, okay, put it on a tripod. The funny thing is I've done the whole tripod thing of me training a dog. Great. So I'm like, this is me training a dog. But now what do I have to do? I have to do a fucking voiceover on top of that just to give some type of context, right? And then I look at it, I come from a cinematography background. I also have a degree in cinematography. Cool. So my ADD fucking hates a locked off shot of a camera of me training a goddamn dog. So in my mind, I go, that's not my style. That's not what I want to represent myself. Right. And it's because of this fucking bullshit up here why I don't have any before and afters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a before and after training, but not a during. Like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so just to give one perspective on this, it's my creative desire, right? Of like my standard of what I like and what I want to see represented. I shoot myself in the goddamn foot. Well, and that's why I haven't created any of that content.
Well, and the thing is too, like, you know, and Brent and I have been friends for years, by the way, Jonas. So, you know, I'm in Phoenix now, but I used to live in LA too. That's how we know each other.
Cool.
Brent's standard. I mean, part of the reason why I love Brent is because those standards are what they are. That's why we do what we do. That's why, you know, that being said though, for newer trainers, it's really easy to take high standards and make it an excuse to not do anything. Correct. So with that, I just want to ask both of you guys a question and be real. If the answer is no, then whatever, it's fine. It's no. Mm-hmm. We obviously all three have learned things from other trainers online. Yes. Mm-hmm. Remind me exactly how many of those fucking trainers had like amazing video quality.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, one. Yeah. There's the one that you like, Brent. I forgot his name. The dude with the beard and like the ponytail, who had like edits and things, but one. Every and including the biggest doctor. And Zach George has good edits and stuff on YouTube. I can't hate on that. Like his persona is there. I get it. You know.
Yeah, his videos are beautiful.
His videos are beautiful to behold. I get that, right? You got to show respect where it's due, in fairness, right? So, with that being said, clearly, then it doesn't matter. If the content is there, people will watch. Now, granted, there are some trainers that you'd rather watch than others because one speaks better or because one's like has less background noise or whatever. But within the realm of like normal reasonableness, just do it and show it. And if nothing else, you start right there. Then you watch it later and you go, I could bring the shot a little closer. I could get a little lavalier. I could do something. But you get better as you go. Correct. And my personal favorite thing, because I'm a big content person. I've run podcasts before. I'm a huge podcast listener. Videos and all that good stuff is more Brent's thing. I like to hear it suck in the beginning because it makes you feel like you're along for the journey.
Yeah.
Our podcast, we only started it almost exactly a year ago today. It's like mid-February. Right?
Yeah, true that.
And
congratulations.
Thank you. And man, you should have heard the first episode. It sucks. And like, I love it because it's something. It's legit like 3 minutes long, first of all. And like, and it's boring and the audio and it's just not there.
Yeah.
And it's not like now it's amazing, but it's significantly better.
I mean, we got an editor now. We got
But here's grown. My favorite point though. And this is for the younger trainers. Hear me. I was making this point on one of the social medias. I don't know. If we were to have a guest like Jonas, like Michael, like whoever, in our first episode, we technically have everything we need. We have the guest. That interview would have been shit.
Correct.
Sound quality wise.
Microphones don't make you better. Like sound quality would have been worse too, but there's nothing about what we've got here that makes us better interviewers or having conversations or even just being open enough to just be real about things. I wouldn't have asked you about your pistol a year ago, like whatever, but you know, but it's just, it's little things like that. It's fucking, it's what came to my mind, you know? That's the motion of getting better at making content online, just like it's the motion of getting better with becoming a dog trainer as a person. I think the big difference is for online or for sports or for school or for whatever, there are places to go to sharpen yourself. You know, for dog trainers, everybody's so guarded in their own little thing. Nobody like collabs anymore.
And that's what's interesting is that I just started collabing with Danny Wells on TikTok. I'm pioneering that realm now also.
Okay.
Like I just did a collab with Dog Sense out of Australia where we discussed the importance of keeping your dog on a fucking leash. Like if it doesn't have recall. And like we're doing these collaborations and like I'm all about like DIY, let's do it and let's get it done. And you're right. And that's one of the things that I saw wasn't being done. It's the same thing in my social media shit. It's like no one there is no ultra heavily tattooed punk rock dog trainer who's just calling it how it is. So I just fell into a niche that people were like, wow, that's kind of cool. Or they were like, I hate this guy. Right. And it just worked in some way, shape, or form. But I'm always looking for shit that people aren't doing in the business aspect of things. Right. So, but back to content. And you asked a very, very fucking deep question, and this is where I get like philosophical, which is, what if you're just afraid or insecure of doing the content, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are afraid to push yourself through discomfort, you have no business training dogs on the balance.
Right.
Perfect.
And
100%.
and like, that's just from a philosophical standpoint, from the same point that I look at it. You better have some sort of discipline outside of dog training that you do to train yourself. For me, it's physical fitness, right? Like it, and mental health awareness, and training my brain, and make like it goes beyond just dog training. It needs to be a lifestyle that's implemented into your life. And if you are a dog trainer that really wants it, put your content out. Put your content.
Right.
Yep.
And Brent, if you're so nitpicky about camera shots, just show up.
So here's an interesting thing. We were challenged in our last episode to do for 30 days Instagram content. Now I have 3 platforms, right? I have my personal, I have the podcast. I actually have 4 because I have my nonprofit, which has no content on it right now, but I'm only doing 3. So the interesting thing amongst everything, because you always tell yourself you don't have time, right? I always used to tell myself, I don't have enough time. Like, I'm going to put that. And you know what? Recording videos.
You sleep for 8 hours, sleep for 7.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. You come up with, because you have a workflow, right?
Yeah.
And then you just have to make something part of your work, just like working out. You make that part of your day, right? And so because this challenge came on, we're day 12 into this challenge, something like that.
I don't even know anymore. I stopped counting in my videos. I don't even say it anymore. Like, this is day whatever.
Anyways, we're day 12 into this. We haven't missed a day, 3 platforms, making content every single day. And it's what I thought was hard. It's not that hard. However, there are these moments where you're just like, it's fucking 9 o'clock. I have to put something up.
Me too. You know what the feeling is for me? The feeling is for me is like, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I can always find something to say. I just may not have the fucking energy to fucking do it.
Right. My thing is like,
something to say, go onto other, if it's about dog training, right? Go onto other accounts and get inspired by something that somebody else says. And like, so like for me, the people who inspire me, Danny Wells, John Gata in Phoenix, like he does a lot of cool shit. You guys should have him on too. He's very outside the box, he's super outside the box. Sailor Jerry out of fucking Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dog Sense out of Australia. She'd love to be on here. She's amazing. There are so Vinny from Say It Once Dog Training. Like there are so many like people who have the ability to inspire. And then what I do is I get inspired and then make a similar message only
on your platform.
Right. It caters to
because the delivery mechanism for me is going to hit a different audience than the delivery mechanism from a clean-cut white lady out of Australia.
Yep.
So I want people to make sure that they don't miss the importance of what you just said. Because again, for people who watch content online or listen to it online for dog training, how many times have you looked up different trainers doing the exact same thing? The delivery mechanism is extremely important. And I just wanted to make sure that was
extremely important, which is why, guys, my clients are heavily tattooed millennial guys who came out of the scene.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're and this is what a lot of people don't understand is that, like, guys, I'm hitting a demographic which looks at most of you as dorks. like, not you guys, y'all are tight, but like I'm hitting a demographic that you have no idea how to get to them. And I just got represented by Jason Allen from the Fever 333.
Sick.
Travis Barker's their fucking drummer. Like,
that's awesome.
Like, you want to talk about making an evolutionary revolution in dog training? Here's how we do it. And we make this shit cool. We make this shit cool. It can't be dry fit polo shit anymore. We have to make it cool. But here's the thing: I'll collab with the dry fit polo any day of the week. I'll bring I'll bring you onto my platform. I'll make you cool. Let me fucking help. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do is get this into the mainstream. And now we're getting artists from Epitaph record labels, like. If you know anything about Jason from Fever 333, he's the predominant activist for Black Lives Matter. We get activists behind us. Y'all, come on now.
Yeah, see the vision, y'all.
See the bigger picture.
Yeah.
See the bigger picture. And the only way we get activism behind us is to speak with passion. You can't just sit back with your fucking pasta and Prego sauce and fucking think that you're eating chef's cuisine and that you're making a difference. You have to be serving gourmet shit that people want.
Yep. And presenting it in a way that they like, that they need. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. All right. You guys convinced me. So I'm going to do some, obviously that was all for me.
All kinds of tattoos,
that was all for me. I'm going to get tattoos. I'm going to get a motorcycle. You guys ride. I don't ride.
You ride?
My dad ride. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, before you guys get on your little bromance about
all right.
This is an accountability exercise. I'm going to start posting. Well, wait. So what's the challenge? Because I need to get challenged. Because when I worked for someone, it was so much easier for me to do shit.
Brent, I challenge you, and then I have a challenge for Jonas.
Yeah.
So here's my challenge to you, or fuck it, to both of you.
Yeah.
1 before and after, or no, 3 before and afters a month every month.
Easy.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, I already do that. So 3 before and afters.
Me and you.
Oh, you and me. Yeah, you and me.
A month every month.
We need Jonas to challenge us because he's already doing it. So Jonas. What are we calling this challenge? Before and after. What's the name? What's the hashtag on this challenge? Because we've been doing this, huh?
So the challenge is the before and after, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah, 3 a month. I'm giving 3? A month. That way the dog has time to go through the training program.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome. Give me a second. I think origin is like the origin challenge. Like this is where we originated, and this is where we went to. Like the origin challenge. Like. Transformation, like that type of deal.
Well, here's my favorite, and this came from Sean O'Shea, and it was when that guy who I refuse to name, the super hater online, was shitting on his video. I remember Sean O'Shea making a response video, and the title was just this: "Show me, don't tell me."
Show me, don't tell me.
Yeah.
We should make it a little edgy.
Okay.
I'll show you mine. If you show me yours.
If you show me yours. Okay.
I like it.
Sounds good. Okay.
Show you mine if you show me yours.
Okay. Tell me about your bike.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 2017 Harley Dyna.
You have a Dyna.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm a Dyna bro through and through.
Okay.
Okay. It's got T-bars, risers. Looks like a Sons of Anarchy bike. It's the typical West.
Do you have the MC like thing on the front of the light there?
I'm a lame motherfucker. Yeah. It's a total Jax Teller bike, and I love my motorcycle. I'm actually sponsored by a Harley dealership here in Texas.
Awesome.
Again, pioneering things. And what we do is we put together rescue rides every Sunday, and we ride down to a shelter in Lockhart, and we go and we put in elbow grease. We clean their shit kennels.
To clean the facility. Yeah.
Like we do all those things. I don't go there to train dogs. I go there to get on my hands and knees and clean the shit and piss. I bet most of y'all wouldn't even think that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, okay. So I ride an FZ07. I'm that guy. I'm faster than you.
That crotch rocket.
And I love sport bikes. I love that you have superior technology. I love all that. I love that your bike is more efficient. But you know what? I just don't give a fuck. I love Harley Davidson.
You know what though? Well, maybe it would make you happy to learn that I took my test here in California.
Look at him.
It's probably the same in Texas.
Yeah.
But I took my test in California with my buddy's Softail.
Awesome.
With apes and with like the front fucking, and it was the biggest, heaviest fucking thing I've ever ridden in my entire life. And then of course, once I do the test, then I bought my first bike, which was an R3, and I'm like, oh, I could have done this so easy on a Softail. That is no joke.
Just think about leaning and that thing leans. So at the end of September, or was it? No, it was at the end of October. I did 5,000 miles across the Southwest on my Dyna, and I rode from Austin to Phoenix to my seminar, which was like a hell of a fucking entrance because I was running late, and like it was an outside seminar, and just like my pipes and there's like videos of me just like pulling up like with super loud, getting off the bike, looking all disheveled, and people were like, punk asses here, like there you go.
Yeah.
So
they're like, of course.
And then I went up to Lyman Lake State Park up in Arizona and just did Highway 666, the Devil's Highway up there, and a little bit of the Tail of the Dragon with my parents. Both my parents ride; they're fucking awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like my mama's a badass, my dad's a badass. Like it's they own like a leather business. They do custom leather work, and my dad works for like Border Patrol and Customs. He does their helicopter maintenance because he's retired.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
he's just an incredible man, an incredible person, and my mother is just the patron saint of fucking biker boys, man. Like
I love that.
My poor mom hates that I ride, and my R3, I was hit by a truck. So that's why I have.
Man, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, well, that's why I have my FZ07 now. You know, so my mom was pissed off. You're getting another one? I'm like, yeah, and it's faster too.
It's
just
faster.
So the next bike, I really like Kawasaki's H2.
Oh, Kawasaki's. So in my front yard, I have like I have some precursor bikes to like sport bikes, because I do love sport bikes. I'm too irresponsible. like
I can't control myself.
That's why I've held off, because I want an R1, but I was like, I probably should not.
Yeah, I would kill myself, because like, all I'm gonna do is go fast because I love being an idiot. So I've got a Yamaha, a 79 XS650.
Okay.
And I have an 80 Kawasaki 1000 coming my way. So like old school rice burners that I'm really, 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 really stoked about. And just like the history of motorcycling is really neat. I'm involved with a race team right now that I'm doing marketing for. We're going to be called the American Gentlemen.
A moto race team?
Yeah, we're and we're going to go into performance baggers, the king of the baggers, into in MotoGP. So that's something interesting that's being worked on. And then I'm also launching a mentorship program for dog trainers in regards to building businesses.
Nice.
And then because that's something that's not very, very, very talked about in regards to dog training, is how you build your business to be lucrative and how you build your business to actually sustain your living. Because I see a lot of great dog trainers, and then I'm like, oh shit, like, is this what you do for a living? Do I not bartend? And I'm like, okay, like,
you're like, you need to stop.
Right. Yeah. What are you doing? Right. Well, let me tie it back to dog training for a second, because we're just kind of going off. We're just kind of going off on our little tangent, but all jokes aside, little things like that, just connecting, finding that one thing that connects us, and and putting it together. That's what a lot of people are uncomfortable trying to do. So we were talking about the importance of making content just to put yourself out there and to show the evidence that you know what you're doing, and to build that sort of credibility is the word. Now, talk to me a little bit about the importance of using social media today to collab with other trainers and make your circle bigger.
This is huge. So and this is from personal experience, I've always been a lone wolf. I've always been like a disperser, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know wolf theory, most dispersers, lone wolves, are female. It's not males. So it's just an interesting factoid that I always like to throw out there, where people go, oh, that's weird, because we associate that as a very male thing, right? It's actually a very female thing.
I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel.
That's exactly it. So it's not only important to network with trainers, but it's also important to brand yourself in a personal manner also. But the networking of trainers is, in my opinion, crucial at this moment, not even for referrals, but to elevate one another.
Right, exactly.
Because if me, like, because Russ is one of my best friends in dog training from like from Calm Canine, right?
He's awesome.
Like, if I'm featuring someone like him, and we're pretty opposite, like, he's like super chill, like, like super like dope and calm and like music festival hippie.
Yeah.
Like, let's beat skulls and take their jaws. But we're able to find such common ground and be able to hit different niches. Here's the thing. Somebody's going to see my content that doesn't like me, right? But if I have Russ or Danny or one of you guys on my social media, they may click on that trainer, and then all of a sudden, oh, I vibe more with that person.
Right.
And so it's not only about community and support, because y'all know this. Being on the balance side of dog training, mental health is an issue on our side of the fence, because, and this is hot take, we are consistently gaslighted by the other side of the industry. We are consistently gaslighted by saying that our shit doesn't work. We are consistently gaslighted by saying that we are abusers. We are consistently gaslighted, and at some point you're going to question yourself. And as a proper dog trainer, you should question everything you do all the time to make sure that the welfare of the animal is first and foremost.
Correct, right.
But it is abusive what we deal with. Like, it truly is. Because I spoke to my therapist, because I see a therapist because my mental health is.
Of course.
No, I hear you. I do too. Go ahead.
We all do.
And she said something. She's one that brought that up, because I trained her dog. And then
nice.
And then she goes, "You're legitimately being gaslighted, whatever the proper conjugation of that."
Yeah, I hear you.
of that is you're legitimately experiencing abuse from the other side of your industry because they're not giving you credibility to things that you are consistently replicating. Right. And consistent replication is science. Like being able to replicate a result under different circumstances is science.
Yeah, well, good science is good observation. If you can do it over and over and over again, it's repeatable. I hear you.
Which is why, and this is, we're kind of off topic, but anecdotal data and empirical evidence is very important. Like, and people are like, well, this is peer reviewed. Well, peer reviewed has been shown to be flawed. Peer review has been shown to be flawed because there's bias in it. And then the defense of it is, well, it's been acknowledged that there's bias in peer review. Okay, well, that's fucking the problem.
Yeah, well, that's my point. You can't be like, you acknowledge it. That doesn't mean it goes away.
But anyway, back to networking.
Yes.
On the balance side of things, you need to pick trainers who you believe in, right? But you also need to elevate those trainers. You need to rep them because there's plenty of fucked up dogs for everybody, y'all.
Yep, so many.
Like, ain't no shortage, man. Ain't no shortage. And the more of us succeed, the more this becomes the acceptable way to train dogs, the acceptable way to train dogs.
Yep. A rising tide raises all ships.
And also, if this is very important, and this is something that I like to stress to the people that I mentor. If you see some bullshit on the balance side, call it out.
Yep.
Yeah. Like call it out. Like for instance, so Gelman was he was a transitional person in my transition from pure positive to balanced, right?
Okay.
But the Pyrenees video I wasn't a fan of. Because he said no, the dog disengaged and then bonked anyway. And the dog was completely confused as to what happened. So with that, I am not going to stand by that and be like, that's good dog training. Right. Do I think that Gelman should be shut down? No. Right. And Jeff and I have had conversations about this. I've straight up told him, I said, I'm not the biggest fan of what you do. I'm not like I'm just not. That's not me trashing him because he knows how I feel about him, but we are still amicable. We are still amicable on the balance side because when they shut his seminar down in Chicago, I went to bat for him and put myself out there. And then other balance trainers were like, you can't do that, Jonas. Don't associate with Gelman. But if they go for Jeff and they're able to
go for everybody else too,
right. Where does it stop?
They don't differentiate between us like we do. They're like, what they see is that we all use this little trigger on a remote and that's inhumane. They don't differentiate. We have to fight for the right for the seminar to happen and for people to choose to train their dog how they choose, or how they want to. How they want to train their dog. Right. So the bigger picture, again, it's not for what my ego would be that the balance side gives everybody dogs on a flat buckle collar and a leash, but it's for owners' choice. That's what we have to fight for, which is why legislation is our worst fucking enemy, as it's being shown in England, in Italy, in Spain, in Norway, in
and ultimately what we're using to combat that is culture. We're creating a dog training culture.
Yes.
Right. And this through this renaissance, whatever you want to fucking call it, it's like the more cool it becomes, the more it becomes common knowledge. I think we talked about this over the phone. Is like, I wish, that back when there was a huge rescue boom, right? In the early 90s and the 2000s, where if you didn't rescue your dog, you were looked down upon, you were shunned. And then there are these people buying from very reputable breeders, and they're like, but I was taught in my generation that you're supposed to get a quality breeder. There's nothing wrong with good quality breeding, right? What's wrong is backyard breeding. So the idea is socially it became this thing where it's like, oh my God, you don't rescue your dog? Like, right? And there's a judgment call. Now, even though that's a fucked up judgment call, the idea was the villainizing of one side versus the other side, right? And now as we're kind of coming towards the middle, back then they made rescue really cool, right? With people like Best Friends and NKLA out here.
Absolutely.
And across the nation, rescue is cool. So now the culture to rescue an animal is highly created. And it's kind of obvious, like, of course I rescued, duh, right? Yeah. We need that to happen with dog training. We need dog training to be like, duh, like you don't train your dog and you can get actually talked down upon because you don't train your dog. And naturally the pendulum will swing where it becomes more balanced, where it's just, yeah, of course you train your dog. Duh, I just got a dog from the rescue. I signed him up for group class. Duh, that's what we did.
And so like, because I'm the only dog trainer in my immediate social circle, like they're always like, I never knew that there was another way to train my dog.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're always like, I never knew that there were other ways. And and so like, here's the thing, the average person, and here's something that I learned, right? The average person doesn't give a fuck about the battle that we're in.
Right.
Like they don't give a shit. But when you actually become vulnerable, you share the stories of persecution, you share all these things, then people start to open up and be like, oh fuck, these trainers are literally getting results, and fucking literally they're being persecuted for getting results. Be vulnerable, balance side, show your shit, open yourself up. Do not be afraid if somebody calls animal control on you because they saw your dog on a prong collar because you think it's going to be bad for business. That's what happened to me 2 years ago. Somebody called animal control on me for dog abuse because one of the dogs I was training was on a prong. Perfect heel, no big deal.
Interesting. That's so crazy.
And what did I do? I put it on the internet.
Yep.
I put it on the internet because I'm so transparent. And then people were like, that's bullshit, fucking la la la. Like, people get your side.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like those dog Karens out there, you know?
Oh, man. There's literally a TikTok on like video that I made of a person. I was working with a blue heeler who was biting. I was showing results. And I wasn't even like, I didn't have to hang the dog. I didn't have to do any of that shit. It was just on a slip leash walking with me. And she called the police on me, and my personal assistant was with me. And I was like, get this on fucking video. And like, legitimately, we were able to capture the entire interaction of her calling me an animal abuser. So I was able to show the before and after of this dog and the persecution that I faced for using the approaches that I used when that dog was supposed to be euthanized the next day.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
I have that story with one of my personal dogs. So like Brent knows my dog Simba.
Yep.
And you know River.
Yep.
My dog Simba in particular, he was actually that I personally learned e-collar on.
Cool.
Something close to you, like 5-6 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things. His reactivity and his ability and his willingness to push you was pretty intense. I mean, I at that point in my like dog training career, I've seen dogs redirect on leash because you correct them and they're like, fuck you, you know.
Absolutely.
But he was up there though. He honestly was quite the challenge. And e-collar made a world of difference. I don't know if it's just the freedom or the different sensation or whatever the case, but it totally transformed him into something that he just wasn't before. And each and every single story that I personally have of somebody like coming at me like that in person in real life was because of Simba. First, it was because he was on a prong collar. I corrected him, so he goes after me, so I correct him, and it was just a cycle. And somebody at me from across the way before explaining to me that they think dogs should just be dogs and we shouldn't tell them what to do. So I'm like, oh, you're just a crazy person. So I like anyway. But the last time this happened to me, and when I learned to like stop fighting with a trainer, like, you know, of course I can represent my dad. Like I can make an argument. But if you're just something on the street, like don't bother me, bro. But the last time that I spoke to somebody about this was in Petco, heading to visit my sister in Central Cal. She had just bought a house. I bring the dogs, I pack them up, of course. I forget food. So I go to the store, no big deal. Let me get a bag of food real quick. They're on e-collars, dope. Trainer. It's a Petco. There's dogs, there's, you know, on point. And on our way to check out, my dogs that are perfectly right there in a downstay 10 feet away, because that's where I left him while I'm standing in line, you know, till I bring him to my heel. And just some pity, he's not like some working line. I bought him to be top level, whatever, you know.
Big chunk.
You know, right. You know, just this dog who had no business ever being anything near this, you know, just being so obedient and just so calm around people, for fuck's sake, you know, considering how I got him. And this lady is like, oh, what a sweet baby. And I have it on video too. I have her voice saying all that. I release them. He goes and wiggles up to play with her. And I'm in my head, I'm like, this is amazing. He's playing with people. Like you have no idea, lady, if you'd have met this dog like 2 years ago, you know. And what a cutie. She's feeling this giant ass head and she feels the collar. What's that? And I show her the remote. It's an e-collar. You know, my other one has it too, Mia, you know. And she wasn't talking, she was screaming at, we're like this far apart. And she's screaming at my face. Oh, sweet little angel, this and this and this, this and this and this. How could you do this to this? This dog is so sweet. This dog is so whatever. And that was the last time I ever bothered arguing. Of course, everybody in the store is like, who's this bitch, you know? And I'm just like, look, if you had any idea what the history of this dog was, he was not this sweet little angel like 2 years ago. He's this sweet little angel because dad did what he did. And you know, and then it hits that point where it's like, you know, I don't have to defend myself to you. Like, my dog is alive because of me.
You're like, I'm trying to check out. Not trying to give a seminar right now.
No,
like,
correct. No, and that's true. But
here's my card.
Oh, yeah.
Right, exactly. Well, you know, but
you could pay to play. Here you go.
Well, and that was the last question I asked her. Was like, "Are you a dog trainer?" No. All right, I'll see you later. Have a, you know, well, let's go. Like, but my thing was just, you know, you have no idea. This dog would not be who he is, would not have the life he has if it wasn't for me and with that e-collar and with everything else, because I worked him with the prong. You know, the girl who I was with at the time, she was also a dog trainer, worked him with the prong. Like, we did our whole thing. And it was like, and I'm a big believer in prong collars, by the way. That e-collar.
It's my favorite tool.
Right. And that e-collar, man, it totally changed the game. So I'm like, listen, if you want to sit here and argue with me, I don't really have energy for you. Like, do you have some credentials? Like, is this going to take me anywhere? But if not, you're just some person on the street telling me that I suck based on the zero experience you have. I'm good. You know, I've got better things to do with my time.
Wouldn't it be nice if people were like, why do you use that? Oh, well, here's why.
Oh, well, thanks for asking a productive question.
It totally would. But here's the other thing that would be nice. If other trainers, and Brent and I have talked about this before with trainer friends that we've had on from South America. If other trainers understood the difference between be able to articulate your point and your position, which any trainer should do. However, know when you do and when you don't. You don't fight every single battle. And
that's part of my mentorship program. That's part of my mentorship program.
That's part of life mentorship program. And the thing is too is like, it bothers me that trainers, it bothers me that they get so bothered by some person. I'm like, who cares what this guy thinks, man? Like, if you save that dog, you know, you save, like, how many Brent and Jonas, both of you, how many dogs have you guys trained that were untrainable, quote unquote?
Zero.
Every fucking dog that comes into my phone.
Okay, there you go. So then there's my point.
How many did we say were how many they said were untrainable?
Yeah, that were quote unquote untrainable.
Oh yeah, a bunch.
Yeah, it's not even worth counting anymore at this point, right? So it's like,
we're talking about documented dogs, 8,000 at this point.
There you go. So, but that's my point though, is people can say what they want, but I wish the newer trainers, people are supposed to talk shit. It's kind of their job, at least in my head. It's like, yeah, people are going to hate. It's part of the whole insecurity thing. It's part of the whole, you tear down the building so that yours is taller thing. Like, I get it.
Right.
What's bothering me is, why are you letting it work? That's what I don't understand.
And I think that has a lot to do with the insecurity of just growing the fuck up. You know,
true.
And growing the fuck up within an industry, growing the fuck up within understanding who you are. And
navigating this industry is tough for newcomers.
Absolutely.
Like navigating this industry is incredibly tough for the people that I mentor, because there's so much conflicting information in regards to what you should be doing. And there's, in my opinion,
it's easy to lose track. Yeah. 100%.
Yes. And in my opinion, you want to build a successful business, here's the blueprint. Here's the fucking blueprint. And I give it to everybody for free. This is what my students pay me for. Is we flesh out the skeleton in the mentorship program, but this is the skeleton that I teach. You fucking do rescue work for free and you build referrals. You show your heart. You show your heart first and foremost. You don't, and people who apprentice with me, they do all this. They do all the bitch work. They do all this shit work. You show your heart that you want this, because this industry pays well. But if you're going, but if you're going to earn that pay, you better fucking respect the craft.
I work with 60 something, 70 something rescues as part of the foundation here in Phoenix. And I don't want to undermine your point, but I think you might agree with me here. I absolutely personally do that. I refer out, I work with, I have a foster dog right now. I always have 1 to 2 foster dogs from any given rescue. And here, you know how it is around here. There's a lot of feral dogs, you know, so they'll like catch them and then like, you know, put them under for a second so they can vaccinate them and fix them so I can bring them home. Then I got to domesticate the thing from scratch, then train it, then socialize it, then find it a home. And we do it, you know, for free and everything else. With that being said, younger trainers, yes, help rescues anyway, just because they fucking need help. But in terms of referrals and stuff, there are those rescues that don't refer, like they don't quite pull the weight that they're supposed to do for all the dogs that you're working for free. So I just want to throw that out there, you know, help and network and do all that good stuff and put in your time. You're right, because I do it for free too.
It's not a matter of the rescue networking you. It's a matter of getting to those people to do the work. So like, here's what you do is when you get, let's say the rescue goes, we need your help with this Great Pyrenees because the Great Pyrenees is biting children. Shocking, right? Like,
I know, right?
Like, so like that, because the Great Pyrenees is a fucking livestock guardian.
I have a Great Pyrenees right now with me.
Of course you do. Why the fuck would you? There's always one.
Right. In
livestock
LA, right?
Livestock guardians, y'all. But like, what you do is you get to those people and you don't make sure that they know that you're not a representative of the rescue. Make sure that you're saying, I'm giving you a free session. I'm helping you for free for my business. Give the card out.
Right.
Drop your card there. Get your card out. Drop it there. Make sure that they understand that you're not from Fido's Rescue. Make sure that that they understand that you are from blah blah dog training. Right. That's the key there, because I made that mistake for the first year when I was volunteering with the rescue, and everybody thought that I just worked for the rescue.
Worked there, yeah.
And I didn't get any referral. What the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, and that could be dangerous in its own way too. Yeah.
Here's a challenge. Here's a challenge then that I have for dog trainers who are listening to this. Sorry, we've been on a challenge lately. Russ kicked it off.
Challenge. Yeah,
we have been. But I love the idea of just challenging whatever the hell it is, dog training or not, because it's just nice to push yourself. And like we talked about, have a little bit of accountability. So here's my challenge to you guys. And if you're willing to take on this challenge, prove it to us in some way. You can message us or whatever. Every single day, 7 days a week, I'll make it easy. For the next 2 weeks, 14 days, reach out to 3 people every day. I've been doing this now. I'm going to keep doing it until I run out of people. One rescue, one person in the dog world, like groomer, daycare, whatever. Vet. And one, vet, whatever. And one like breeder or something. Absolutely. And just ask them, hey, do you guys network with dog trainers at all? If so, I'd love to know how I can get on that referral list, and do that every single day for 14 days, 3 of them. That takes 10 minutes. It's 2 emails and a phone call.
Shit, you build your network so fucking quick.
So quick. So
dude, I'm doing it so fast.
The old school way still works. Everyone's trying to get on the TikTok and Instagram.
Guerrilla marketing is so effective. Like
everything. Yeah, right. It's crazy.
When I first started, again, something that I did was, and a lot of people don't even know this story, but since I come from like downtown Tucson, like punk rock culture, we used to do a flyer for shows, right? Like we used to put that shit into like car windshield wipers.
Nice.
I went to the richest place in Austin, Texas called Lakeway, and I went to all the grocery store parking lots and just don't do that because it's actually vandalism, which I found out.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute now.
But I just went and I hustled, and like if you want to make it, it's hard to break in.
Right.
Once you're in, you're set for life.
Right.
But you will never make it. You will never make it unless you're good and you fucking grind.
Right. And you care.
You care. Like you have to have that authentic. Like this is what I tell people. I can roll up to my clients' driveways on my Harley with a cutoff shirt that says like anal cunt, which is one of my favorite bands, right? And like, I go sit at their kitchen table with them. I'm heavily tattooed. I'm sweaty from the Texas heat. I tell them they're terrible dog owners, but they trust me because of the energy, because of the body language. And this is something that I teach to my students, which is human communication is 98% nonverbal.
Right. I was just talking about that this morning with a client.
And we believe we rely so heavily on language, but in actuality, we decide subconsciously whether we like somebody based on their body language.
Same thing with dogs. Same
thing with dogs. Now imagine how important that is for dogs. That's a whole topic, right?
That's exactly what go ahead.
But so what I tell my students is when you're in a consultation, which you should be doing for free, unless you have the demand that I do. For instance, like we are booking, not trainings are booked all the way through the end of the summer already between 4 trainers. And that's a lot of fucking dogs.
Right.
Our consultations are now booking into September.
Yep.
So like, that's just to give you guys like a general idea of how huge my business has become, but we keep it small, we keep it quality because I train my trainers to the utmost meticulous like specifications. So what I teach my students is when you go in, don't go in with a fucking iPad picture perfect presentation. Like differentiate yourself. Find a way to differentiate yourself. For me, I naturally differentiate myself because when I roll up, the bar is set low for my appearance. I'm aware, right?
Okay.
He's like, I'm always impressed because the bar's down here.
Like they hide their wallet in their front pocket.
Like
you're Jonas?
But self-awareness is key in regards to selling strategy, right? So the bar is set low, like especially like when they haven't seen me on TikTok or like they haven't read the Yelp and they just get a referral from a previous client, which most most of my like clients now come from Yale, but
right.
If they just get a referral, it's always this. It's like, well, he's gonna be a little rough.
Yeah.
and
Disclaimer.
Pipes are loud. I go in. I sit down. Buff biker dude like sits down at the table, and then they tell me their problems, and the first thing I say is, you caused this issue, and I have to train you, and I have to train your dog. I have to train your dog to receive communication, and then I have to train you properly how to communicate your dog. Your dog is not stubborn. I've never met a stubborn dog. I've just met a dog that's confused. Like I'm just seeing a lot of miscommunication from the owners to dogs. That's what I'm saying. And then I normally drop an F-bomb right away because that's obviously expected. And they just go, damn, this dude's like legit. This other dude who who came by, gave a presentation and like all this shit. And then what I do is I invite them to my alumni class on Saturdays to come speak with clients.
Amazing. I'm stealing that. That's so amazing. I love that. I love that part. That's amazing.
Take it. I say, do not work with me until you come speak with my clients.
That's amazing.
And speak with my staff. So, because you have to know what type of employer I am. You have to know what type of person of ethic I am. You have to know what my clients think about me. And every time I get attacked online, my clients,
they defend you.
I have like a cold following of people because we're the first go-to now, but we used to be the last option in Austin where people were like, all right, well, this balance trainer failed us, this pure positive trainer failed us. I guess we'll go to Jonas. And then at that point, what they quickly realized, and let me give everybody a really, really strong piece of advice. If your client has been failed by other trainers, unfortunately, it's up to you to make it up to them.
Right.
Like,
correct. I agree.
Waive your deposit.
Yeah.
Waive your deposit.
That one pisses me off. I paid him for 6 lessons and we did one and I just never heard from him again. Yes. And I'm like, that fucking, so I always leave that consult, and they always go well, don't get me wrong, but I always leave that and be like, that motherfucker. Like now they're all skittish and I'm like, man, that's just, it's unfortunate, you know, but it at the end of the day, it makes you feel better because it's like, all right, but I'm gonna get it done though.
Yep.
I'm also snarky and I have a pure positive buyout program. That's so like I copied the AT&T Sprint model where they were like, we'll buy out your contract.
Like, I love that.
I literally,
that's funny.
It's marketed. I'm like, okay, cool. Like if you're not getting the results you want from a pure positive trainer, I will honor your balance in my program. Guys, I got like 80 clients from that last year.
That's awesome.
Like honor that. Like
that's
new
awesome.
trainers, new trainers, get it through your head. You're not worth $300 an hour.
Right.
You're not.
Yep.
You're just not. You have to earn that. And the way you do it is by fucking bucking up and doing work for less than what you believe you're worth. Because if you're a new trainer, you're not worth anything. You don't have the journey behind you. You need to cultivate yourself and you need to earn the respect. So my going rate in Austin is $300 an hour. I'm booked out all the time. My travel rates are exponentially higher, but people pay it because they know they're going to get something from it.
Right.
Build yourself and you'll get there. Like you'll get there. But you have to do it properly. Don't get ahead of yourself because if you're charging $300 an hour from the get-go and you're not delivering those results,
right,
this is going to tank like crazy.
Right, those reviews, those people are not going to be happy paying all that money, and they're going to let people know. What's that adage? Like if somebody's happy with your work, they tell 10 people. If they're not happy, they tell 100. I want to touch a little bit on something that you said, but I think it's important enough that it bears repeating. You were talking about the importance of don't have this perfect laid out like script. And that doesn't mean, I personally don't think that you can't have a script, but just don't sound like a robot, right? I know what you're saying.
Shit, I've got monologues.
Right. Well, or at least an idea, because, you know, the way that I'm sorry, Brent, I know I do this all the time is I'm a jiu-jitsu person. And
oh fuck again with the jiu.
I know, I'm sorry, but the thing is, this
fucking helps. Every week with the jiu.
This helps
as long as it's not motorcycles. I'm cool.
Bro, you got to get you a motorcycle. Your dad rides. You got to get you one.
I know. I do got to get it.
I love that you have a discipline. That's amazing. That's super important.
Yeah, thank you. So anyway, and that's my challenge to you. We'll get to that. Cool. So I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a few years. I've been boxing forever and ever. Now, the thing about jiu-jitsu is it's got belts to it. White belt to blue belt to purple, brown, black. Now, in terms of dog training, whenever I meet a newer dog trainer, and I don't say younger because sometimes they're older, but they're new to the game. A newer dog trainer, they have their like script. If you were to run them through, okay, if I were a client and I told you my dog is this problem, this problem, this problem, this old, female, whatever, go. They have their whole thing, and it sounds like a Wikipedia page that they're reading. There's no soul in it. They're just kind of like reciting, because it's information that's new to them, and they're scared to go off the rails, as they should be. And the reason why I liken it to jiu-jitsu is it's not perfectly linear. You don't learn all the different things and slowly get better at everything together. As a white belt, your job is to find your one game plan. I'm really good at finding the back and then from the back and so on and so on. I'm really not that great in like side control. I'm really not that great with butterfly. I'm really not that great with all kinds of stuff. You have one game plan, because when you're competing against the other white belt who has his one game plan, it's a battle of the wills. Who's going to get to their game plan first and execute it better? Exactly. Even if you both know what that is, can you stop him though? Exactly. Now, when you get better, the difference between a white belt and a black belt is black belts are belts who are good enough to explore. I know what my game plan is. I'm purposely going to try something different, knowing it's not effective, because I'm good enough now. I have enough info. I can find my way back. And in finding my way back, I put 2 and 2 new dots together that weren't there before. So people who are experienced, people who are comfortable, like Jonas Black, show up on his fucking Harley and thing, but no, you can go off the rails and be authentic. Absolutely. And you can bring it right back, and you can still run the dynamic of that conversation being an evaluation. I'm here to converse with you guys. At the same time, though, you brought me here, so let me tell you, blah, 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 blah. Oh, cool. You like, oh, fucking, that's dope, blah, blah, blah. And you go off the rails for a second and have some fun with them. Yeah, you drop a little F-bomb here and there, because all jokes aside, you're secretly giving them permission to be at ease.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And then you bring it right back to the conversation. Anyway, so look, with your dog, I really think you guys need to do this, this, this. I think, and then because you've been so normal and easy and just real about it, they're willing to take your criticism. You're not just that one asshole who I'm going to smile and do this. Right. Face and then be like, fuck that guy. I'm calling, the next dude. But I just want to make sure that people are aware of that.
Yeah. What's really interesting is that so with bringing back to the black belt just being a white belt that's going to explore different strategies.
Right.
Depending on the context of the situation and what's being delivered, right? Like we can actually equate that to dog training. Like every dog that I train, I'm making on the spot decisions regarding how the dog is responding to what I'm doing, right?
Exactly.
And so like, if you cannot freestyle your pitch to your client making on the spot decisions, you're probably not a good dog trainer yet.
Right.
Because the on the spot decision making when you're training dogs, for instance, Danny Wells' dog Logan, he'll fucking maul you if you hit him on a 10 on an e-collar. Like he's just
super sense, yeah.
But yeah, like
I had a cattle dog like that.
He's a high drive fucking Mally, right?
Right.
He's a monster of a dog. But if you give him a personal correction, he's like, okay, fine. Like,
like, why you yelled at me?
I'm so sorry that I offended you. Yeah, right.
Like takes that shit so personal.
Right.
But this is where being able to improv and why filling your toolbox with tools is so important, and not just physical tools but mental approaches to the dog is so important, so you're able to freestyle. And it's the same with your sales strategy is that if I walk in and I say, well, how the fuck are y'all doing, and they go, I'm gonna be like, I'm changing my approach right now.
Yeah.
Like until they get a little bit more comfortable, because I tell you this much, I've definitely weirded out some motherfuckers when I walk in.
No, I wanted to bring something up because it's we kind of talked about it with the episode with Sarah Brewski, where we made this joke. We said, or not a joke, but just this observation where we're saying how, shits and clubs, they have clubs.
Yes.
Agility has clubs.
Yeah.
There aren't really that many pet dog trainer clubs.
Correct.
You know what I mean? There aren't really that many organizations where we can all come together. I mean, there are like IACP and there's organizations like that have conventions and stuff. But there aren't organizations or clubs where we can all come together and actually work the same group of dogs together. Correct. Right. And so I have a nonprofit, the Canis Foundation, and the initial mission of that is to train fosters and volunteers to be better fosters and volunteers. So while the dogs are in the system, they can get those dogs homes quicker. And forever homes, right? And then also provide support with people who are having issues, free consultations, free couple private sessions, free entry to group classes, so that they have the means to be able to train their dogs. And so that idea sparked something in my mind where I was like, every week we get calls, or not calls, but DMs from people on the Dog Trainers podcast. We love you guys. Great. How can we learn? You know, how can we do this? How can we do that? And obviously we have the internet. And because of not only the international reach of this podcast, it's been wonderful. There are people out there who want to work together. Yes. Right. And in my mind, I'm like, all right, so obviously, like, I have a mentorship program. You have a mentorship program. You're starting to get your mentor now that you got your business up off the ground. Like, we all have our mentorship programs, but, you know, I'm teaching them. I would love to cross-pollinate. I would love to create a way where we could all come together for a common goal. For example, maybe 10 rescue dogs out in Austin. Yeah. I fly out there. Mariano flies out there. We get other dog trainers in that area who want to volunteer their time, and we all come together and create a club, not a club, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever, who cares?
Whatever you want to call it, where we train together and we exchange knowledge and we teach what we feel we want to teach, you know what I mean? And so in that way, we can kind of create a little bit of more of a cross-pollination of information. And what we'll see is, we'll see how we're all very similar, but then we can actually see why we're very different.
Let me throw this out for you, man.
Yeah.
Like I'll offer right now for my mentorship program, if you want to come in and you want to do a lecture for us, I will happily give you the floor. And if you want to let me do that for you, I will happily do that for you also.
Jonas, I'm gonna take you up on that, and I need to bring you out here for some adoption events we have coming up for the foundation. So we'll talk more offline.
I'll do it for free. Bro, I do.
You have to at least do it for a steak dinner. Come on, man. You have to value yourself.
Yo, okay. No, dude. Okay, well, then at least that, because my girlfriend makes amazing steak dinners.
I'm in. Man, you're a dog trainer and you have a girlfriend. How the fuck do you manage that one?
She helps him. She helps him.
It's not without a degree of difficulty, I assure you.
No, I love that. And I want to find a way that we make this a very common culture thing, right? Like I would love, you know, so we're pioneering a program. I'm drafting out and outlining a program like that for LA right now, because I want to work the kinks out. But I would love to have a program like that. Now I know you guys in Austin. I know 2 other trainers in Austin. My homegirl Shona, what's up? She's dope. You guys should connect.
Yeah, Shona Smith. Yeah.
I would love to have dog trainers who want to volunteer their time for a common good come together so we can all collaborate. I think that would be an amazing thing.
I think that's amazing. And the thing with the IACP, I'm not a part of the IACP because I think I'd get kicked out right away because of the way that but like, I also like it's very competitive in the IACP and it's very political. And like, I'm just not about fucking issue. Like y'all are my homies now. Like, whatever you guys need, like, y'all just hit me up. And like, and anyone who's in my circle, like in my circle, they'll tell you, like, dude, once Jonas gets to know you and knows that you're not after him, I'm the most loyal motherfucker in the world. I will fucking show up. If someone's coming after you, I will sit at your fucking porch with my 9mm to make sure you are okay. Like
you're that friend. I love it.
Yeah, like, oh fuck. I'll tell you stories offline at some point. But I mean, I'm everyone's ride or die who's my homie in the dog training world. Like secrets. I have secrets from people that you wouldn't even know, and they never make it out, even though they could boost my popularity. But like, I want people to trust me. You know what I mean? Like,
that's been our goal with this thing too. You know, is just to create that platform. I guess this was kind of the beginnings of the next thing, right? It was just get some trainers together. This isn't like a weird gotcha thing. It's just talk, just be who you are, and just do your thing and share what you got to share.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why the industry is so, I mean, they're fucking scared of me, is because they're seeing that authenticity created a lot of success for me.
Right.
And like, I'm talking $1 million business in 6 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's one of those things where it's like, authenticity created success for me in regards to dog training, where everybody else has been putting up fronts and not being transparent and fucking trying to make shit too nice and trying to make shit too like positive, spelled with a PAW.
Oh yeah, PAW. Yeah.
I'm sick of it. Make it cool. Make dog training cool again, because at one point it was. And in countries like Germany, dog training is cool there.
Yep. Italy, it's cool.
Yeah, like dog training is cool there, but their cool went to a pure positive side, which is why we in the States have an obligation right now to fight the fight before it hits us hard. Because there's counties in Florida where the tools are banned.
I was going to say, I've been seeing that. I was surprised by that. I wasn't surprised by Wales and certain parts of the UK, but I was very surprised when I heard that here.
It's starting to happen, y'all.
Yeah.
And like, And like, do not be blind to the fight that we have to fight right now. The war is coming to our shores, and it's going to be fought here. And we have to put the information out there, and in regards to content, put the content out, because it's not about yourself. It's about the craft and the preservation and welfare of dogs. Because this style of training gets banned, which it has been. In some countries, you can't even tell your dog no in public without getting an animal cruelty fine.
Right.
You see BSL creep in. We're gonna lose. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the woman in England who had her pit bull, who had her Amstaff typed as a pit bull, get that dog dragged out.
I was gonna say, I didn't even know that you could have a pity in England anymore.
Like, they typed the Amstaff as a pit bull, dragged the dog out by a catch pole while the woman is screaming, and it happened 3 times to her. They are persecuting these dogs because you're not allowed to train them in a way that
they need.
Right. That's conducive to just their drives and their personalities. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, it's so frustrating. That's so frustrating.
I know we have to wrap up, but before we do, you're not getting out of my challenge there, Jonas. So my challenge is this, and I'm going to let you pick. All right. So I've been seeing you in shape, my friend, and I see you and I raise you. So you give me one workout and I will give you one workout.
Okay.
Mine's going to be, you can either pick boxing
I need a workout too.
Oh, you do it too then. Oh, you
All
have
right, fat alpha.
So you can either pick boxing or jiu-jitsu.
I got the gym at the house.
You pick your poison, Jonas, and I'm going to get on your ass, all right? A 10-round boxing workout or like a 5-round jiu-jitsu workout, and then you give me whatever you got in return.
Actually, you guys are really fit. I'll let you guys do it. I'm going to work on it.
Shit, but I'll do it. I'll do the boxing workout. I'll do the boxing workout, and I will video it for
nice.
The before and after for you. Yeah, I'll send it to you. So
too,
I'm going to send you one so that you know what you're doing.
Okay.
Because you know I'm scared. And it's going to get you.
I hope so, because I'm always down to be challenged, and then I'll construct a hypertrophy workout for you for bodybuilding.
I'm down.
Okay, cool. Let's do it up. Just make sure you make sure you eat properly that day, because you're gonna
right. Because you're gonna be maxed out. This is amazing. No, I love this. I think this was definitely one of the most entertaining. This was fun, and I honestly know. I always leave these podcasts with guests. I'm like, we're homies.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm
gonna fly out. I'm gonna fly out just to see you. Would say,
yeah, for real. Like, I don't want this to sound mean to anybody.
Like, legit. If y'all want to come out, I'll put you up, but you got to make sure you can handle the tequila, because punk ass will take you out.
Ooh.
I'm a tequila man. I'm a Patron guy myself. A Patron silver guy or platinum. No, man. Like, I don't want this to sound rude to other people and stuff like that, because everybody's like, I have nothing but polite conversations, I guess. But I like you.
I appreciate it. I like you too, man.
I like you. Yeah. You be my friend. Well, honestly, that's how it was in first grade, right? It was that simple. I like you. You want to be my friend?
Well, it's just that genuine thing. I like everybody, but I like
all the ego gets in the way. Like, I like you. Be my friend. And then, okay, I'll be your fucking friend. It was that simple. And then bullshit gets in the way.
I really appreciate platforms that allow me to explain myself. And and I'm not justifying who I am, because I don't need to do that to anybody. But the thing is that just so people start to understand that I'm not just some bully online that goes and thinks I'm the dog training god. I don't think I'm the best dog trainer. I think I'm really good at behavior, because my results are there. I would be neglecting myself by not acknowledging that.
Right.
But the thing is that I'm not a bully. I'm not an egotistical bastard. I'm not a misogynist. I just really appreciate whenever people give me the chance, because I'm able to talk science, and at the end of the day, I'm able to talk dogs, which is what this is all about.
Real quick, maybe some dog trainers will understand. If you were going to be one breed of dog, what breed of dog are you?
I would definitely be probably the Siberian Husky.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. I like it.
Definitely, because so first off, I own Huskies, and a lot of people don't know that my work that actually got me pretty well known was done with Huskies. My off-leash work with Huskies with non-remote collar.
Okay.
That's difficult as fuck to do off-leash work with a Husky.
Yeah.
So basically, you're a wizard.
Yeah. I just know the breed, and I know the way they tick. And my bitch, she's a Foxhound Malinois Husky mix.
Wow.
And
Foxhound Malinois.
I'm worried about the Foxhound. The other two, I get.
She's a machine. She's pushy, but she's a machine.
I was gonna say.
She's super pushy, but I'll tell you one thing, she's the most well-trained machine ever. But Wolfie, my husky, he's the one that got me on the map with the husky circles, because they're seeing, 100-yard downstays. I mean, I can let that dog go out and I just go like that, and at 100 yards he goes straight into a down.
Boom.
Yep.
Now, did that take as long as with a golden retriever? It took way longer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But we put the work in,
Right.
But I'd be the Siberian husky, because I'm the closest thing to a wolf that you're gonna get.
I love it. I love it. You're a domesticated wolf, but a wolf nonetheless.
Just before you
from my work in wolf conservation, I have wolf skulls in my liquor cabinet. I got an Asian red wolf skull in my liquor cabinet.
Oh my
awesome,
gosh, that's super sick.
Just before you close it up, Brent, I just want to say one more thing, because I feel like Jonas, I mean, hopefully you like really take it and kind of vibrate with this message, but maybe you can give it, however, later with social media, whatever, in a way that really helps more people. Because again, I don't have the words sometimes. Is when you talk about you put in the work, dog training aside, putting in the work. Here's a quote that I absolutely love from a podcast of a guy that I think you would love, the Andy Frisella, the MFCEO podcast. He said, people dramatically overestimate the amount of work that can be done in 4 to 5 months, so they do too much and burn out. People dramatically underestimate the amount of stuff that can be done in 3 to 4 years. And it's not about blowing yourself to pieces every single day. It's about doing the few things a day that you can do each and every day. Over time, they stack up. That's putting in the work.
I love that. I truly love that. And that can be really heavily applied to dog trainer burnout.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where compassion fatigue kicks in. And that's where, because all those are real things. And if we want to wrap up with this, y'all take breaks. If y'all are dog trainers, take breaks. I know that you want to help, and your clientele will not go away.
Right.
Don't burn yourself out. I make my trainers take breaks. That's why I give them time off, because I understand the mental toll that it takes to work with dogs every single day. Take breaks. Don't burn yourself out. Allow yourself to enjoy your craft. If it starts to get like, fuck, I got to work this dog, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. You're working with a being, an emotional being that is unique and beautiful in all its own right, and like it's God's greatest creation, in my opinion. So like, be respectful, and if you don't want to work with dogs, then give yourself a fucking break.
Right. Stop. Yeah.
Stop. And I've been there where I was like, I trained 800 dogs this year. I need a couple months off, so I took those months off. And luckily I was in a position to where I had reliable.
Didn't hurt you. Yeah, it didn't hurt you.
And I had reliable trainers who were able to pick up the slack for me.
Right.
But this is where I like to mentor people and tell them how to grow their business in a really ethical manner. Mm-hmm. Not everybody is ready to expand because they're not the trainer to be able to teach other people yet.
Right.
Huge thing. Don't burn yourselves out, boys and girls. There's plenty of time, plenty of fucked up dogs.
Absolutely. They'll be there.
Yeah.
No, I think that was a beautiful note to end on, Jonas. Really appreciate you joining us and being on this podcast. I just last bit would be, we talk about dog training as an art form. What do you feel is what would be your, if you were talking to a bunch of dog trainers as artists, what would you add to their art form? So to give you some context, we talked to, Michael Ellis, we said, or Tyler Muda, right? We said, if we were artists and we had like tools, paintbrushes, color palette, clay, whatever it was, what is a necessary tool in dog training? And he says, oh, you got to know your theory. You got to know your learning theory. You got to know your classical conditioning, operant conditioning, reinforcement schedules, et cetera. He goes, all right, great. So then we asked Michael Ellis, what would you add? And he goes, oh, technical skill. There's a lot of times people have understanding of stuff, but their bodies just can't connect to what it is they're trying to do. And we asked, a lot of our other dog trainers. Some people say, put in the work. Some people say you got to make sure you're being honest with yourself, honest with the dog, honest with the clients. And so, et cetera, where they start adding a lot more tools to this dog or to this artistry toolbox. Is there a tool that you would say helps you be the best artist that you can be?
I'm going to go more philosophical on this.
Yes.
As opposed to, if we're talking about an art form and we're putting science into it, I don't think that does that question justice. No offense to Michael or Tyler. I love you both. what I believe to be the greatest mindset, the greatest addition to my dog trainer toolbox is the mindset of the present. Understanding that results are not a real thing while you're training dogs, meaning that the future is a non-existent variable. If you're working towards the future, you will never get there. Sometimes it's completely okay to stay with your dog step by step, if that's what it takes to teach that dog a heel. Literal breakdown into step by step. Be in the moment with your dog. Be authentic with your dog. In the moment with your dog. I'm getting goosebumps talking about this because the next thing that I'm going to say is the greatest joy that you'll ever receive as a dog trainer if you're in the moment with your dog. When the dog realizes that it has done what it's supposed to do, and the dog validates you with its joy.
Right.
Yeah. That is the thing that I wish more trainers would do, is pull back from the bullshit stress of achieving results and enjoy the current state which you are sharing with the only animal that gets a dopamine release upon our touch and their touch to our touch. We have an incredible interspecies relationship, which has evolved through so many years of domestication. And you have to honor that bond by being more dog-like, by staying in the moment, because time is a non-present variable within a dog's framework and the way that it contextualizes things. So be more dog. If you want to go onto the same platform with your dog and be connected with your dog on a level that's non-emotive, be in the moment with your dog, one step at a time, and honor each individual being for that special creation that is, because dogs are fucking dope.
Yeah, they fucking I love
that. Sharing that moment with that dog, it is the only time in the fucking world that you will feel that you're spending time by yourself with another being. Think about that. Alone time spent with my dogs. Think about that dynamic. There are beings that make you feel like you're doing things for you. Self-care. Think about that. Think about that fucking dynamic. You can't feel that way with another person, but with your dogs, if you're in the moment, you still feel that way. They are the irreplaceable, invaluable presence in my life that has led me to be where I am. Not only by training them, but by learning from them.
Yeah.
Be in the moment with your dog and be receptive to the teachings of the dog. Because if the dog can't teach you, you can't teach the dog.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, none of us know for sure if what we're doing is right. We're just taking our best guess.
We dribble and we shoot. No, I love that. That was a beautiful answer. And I think it's going to be hard to, that is the new bar of that answer, my friends. I really appreciate you for sharing that knowledge with us. Those of you guys who are listening to this podcast and you guys are enjoying this and you guys want to follow this guy, Jonas Black, his Instagram handle is @Jonas, JONAS.black, like the color. And TikTok, you can follow him at @punkassdogtrainer. And we really appreciate you guys being here, Jonas. This was a lot of fun. It was very informative. I think we're going to connect. You're definitely going to help inspire a lot of new listeners who don't know who you are. And we really appreciate you just being here, man. If you guys really liked this episode, make sure on whatever platform you guys are on, whether it be Spotify, Google, iTunes, whatever it might be, go ahead and leave us a review. Again, we want to hear from you guys. We want to know some questions. We are officially adding a question and answer section to this podcast next month. So we would love to get some of your guys' questions, topic ideas, any potential referrals of people that you guys would like us to interview and research. Just like Russ from ComK9 did, we do not regret getting Jonas on here, and he was a referral from Russ. We would love to connect with our dog trainers all around the world, guys. So we really, really appreciate it. Again, this is episode 44. My name is Brent LaBrada. That guy over there is Jonas Black, and that is Mariano Alvarez, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Dog Trainers Podcast, a podcast created by dog trainers, for dog trainers, or anyone who's ever fallen in love with man's best friend.
We really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we hope to see you back for the next one. But in the meantime, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook @DogTrainersPodcast.
Go ahead and leave a comment. Ask us any questions that you want. We would love to connect with our dog trainer communities all around the world. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.